was like supposed to be that dude, man. It's just, and I think the reason he was the 24th pick because something happened in college. He was supposed to be the first overall pick. Something happened to where he got out, and then it was rumored about the drug stuff, and he dropped tremendously. But he was supposed to be that dude, man. He catfished everybody. When Al Davis was, they stamped him, and it didn't work out, man. Kind of like Kajai caught what the dude could. What's the dude that played for the Rams, the running back? He was good, but he just always got in trouble.
I can't even remember who you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Vaguely.
Yeah, I can't think of his name right now. But let's go off of let's stick to the Falcons. Catfish.
I mean, we're just talking about different people that have been catfish. You got me thinking about Johnny Manziel. I don't know. I just don't see him. I just don't see him as a catfish. I just think they thought too much into him. But if I had to go, me personally, if I want to talk about current catfishers.
All right, who current?
Man, I'm talking about the catfisher of the year.
Catfish of all catfish.
But if this was MTV Catfish, they opened the door, this man would be standing there. None other, looking right there. Catfish. Big old catfish.
Big whiskers.
But I'm talking about with a hook in his mouth. It would be, and I know he's a beloved person, and shout out to him because I heard he's an amazing human being, but we talking about on the football field.
Oh, I know who
I got to go Kirk Cousins, man.
Oh, man, he got it.
Kirk Cousins is the #1 catfisher in the city of Atlanta.
Catfishing.
Because the Atlanta Falcons thought they were going to get at least two strong seasons out of Kirk Cousins, and something got derailed. Whether it was, some people might say it was the system, the offensive coordinator, he wasn't healthy yet. Whatever the case may be, the Falcons, they were in on the whole catfishing movement because they catfish everyone with the Kirk Cousins signing. And we sat here, we tried not to bash it. We tried not to go in about it, but we kept asking, would you pay $100 million for a broke Achilles? And yes, I know it ain't broke, but that's what we called it on the Waterboy show.
Broke Achilles.
And it turned out, hey man, $100 million for a broke Achilles. And it turned out that Kirk Cousins is the #1 catfisher right now in the city of Atlanta. It was not what it turned out to be. Hey, if this was Instagram, boy, I'm talking about Terry Fontenot was scrolling. Boy, he was seeing Kirk Cousins throwing dimes. On the next one, Kirk Cousins was working out. Boy, he was motivating the team. He saw nothing but W's in his future. But when he opened the door, boy, a big old catfish was sitting on top of that man's shoulders, and it was not what the Falcons thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I agree. Catfish City.
I mean, hey, man, it is what it is. And now we're moving on to Michael Penix. Now we're moving on to MP9, the do-rag dude. Yeah, man, but Kirk Cousins, I would say Kirk Cousins right now is the biggest catfish in the city of Atlanta.
Dang, Kirk. We need to pull out a fish fry, get some batter, dip them in some egg. Roll them up in the flour.
That's what we're going
fry,
with.
Man.
That's what we're going. Well, look, I'm gonna stick with the Falcons. I don't necessarily have anything current.
I got one.
But I'm gonna stick with the Falcons, right? Mm-hmm. The next person who I want to say,
your defensive end.
No. I'm not even going defense, man. I'm on free agents right now.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you who I think was another catfisher
doing the Mike Vick era
for the city of Atlanta. Yes,
I know who you're talking about.
Another person who was on the Catfish of the Year award, this from the early 2000s, was supposed to come in and be Mike Vick's #1 wide receiver. Once we got this man in free agency, he was supposed to come in and take things to the next level, but it did not pan out to be #1 wide receiver play to go along with the #1 wide receiving pay that they gave. And that goes to Peerless Price.
Hey, we gave up a first-round pick, too, for him, didn't we?
Man, when it comes to catfishing the Atlanta Falcons, I have to put Peerless Price on the catfishing menu. The Peerless Price catfish fillet is right up there on the menu. Or it could be the Peerless Price catfish nuggets. Whichever one you want to call it. Peerless Price catfish the organization. He came in, when he came in from Buffalo, like, he was the #2 wide receiver. From what I remember, he was playing next to Eric Mose. He's playing next to, and man, he was looking like he was gonna come in and be the guy.
He was the dude up there, Jim Kelly, dropping dimes on him.
But hey, it didn't turn out to be that way. Peerless Price, when he had to be the number one guy, he wasn't given number one play for the number one pay that he received from the Atlanta Falcons. So Peerless Price is on my list for the catfishes when it comes to the Atlanta Falcons.
I say catfish of the entire Atlanta Falcon organization.
The entire?
The entire.
Man, hold on, man. I have to hear this, man. The number one catfish.
The number one of all time Atlanta Falcons catfishes of catfishing.
Okay.
Doing some catty stuff. It has to go to no other than the number one overall pick, Andre Bruce.
There we go again on the Andre Bruce train.
On that train, going to the Chattanooga River getting some catfish, man. He is the number one, man.